Hey, what is up everyone? Hope you're all having a wonderful time. Here we have a guide for the Bleed Hammer Throw Paladin in Last Epoch. The Bleed Hammer Throw Paladin, or the Hammerdin, is a very strong and fast build focusing on stacking huge amounts of bleed stacks on our enemies. We're using the skill Hammer Throw that will make hammers orbit around us, and by stacking a lot of attack speed we can have a lot of hammers up at the same time that will apply bleed stacks per hit. And the Sentinel is a really great class to use for any bleed build, and the reason for this is that the class specific modifiers that will provide a lot of powerful bonuses just for bleeds. Also, the Paladin makes us get a couple of great passives that will boost this build even further. As I mentioned before, the build is pretty fast as well. We can charge up tons of hammers that will orbit around us, and then simply use the Shield Rush skill as our mobility, and still have the hammers up for a couple of seconds, still dealing damage as we travel. We're also using Holy Aura, Sigils of Hope, and Volatile Reversal to boost the damage and also the defense of our character even further. The build overall is quite tanky, as we can get a pretty high health pool and also armor. We get high block chance and also tons of health leech from both the hits and also from the bleeds here as well. This makes us nearly unkillable as long as we have the hammers up hitting enemies. This build can also be played without any uniques or idols, making it really great build to start with, as you can easily do basic empowered monoliths without them. And there are however a couple that you can benefit from. Both the uniques and idols are fairly common though to get, and you will probably have a couple of them before you get to the end game either way. For some pros here, it got some great damage, which is very easy to scale up. We also damage enemies while we are moving. Great starter build with a lot of improvements for the end game. It's also a very fast build with also some great huge life sustain. And for some cons here, some maps will delete your hammers, like they hitting a wall or a doorway for instance. The build also lacks, sadly, some damage reduction. So let's go over some of the uniques that fits with this build really well. The first one is going to be the Bleeding Heart, which is such a great amulet for so many builds. With its unique modifiers, up to 9% of damage leech as health, we gain a ton of life sustain from this, and this also makes our bleeds heal us as well. And the base also provides some increased throwing attack speed, and as it has such a low effective legendary potential, the chances of getting one with 2 or more LP on it is not that rare. Thorn Slinger is another unique for this build. We get +1 to level of physical skills, chance to bleed on hit, movement speed, and also throwing attack speed. Overall, really great common belt with low effective LP on it. Flayer's Pride is a unique shield providing up to 91% chance to bleed on hit, 39% physical penetration with bleed, and also 13% less physical damage taken on block and physical damage over time. Baldur's Chalice gives us up to 50% chance to bleed on hit, and also the same to bleed duration. We also get 2% of physical damage over time, damage leech as health, and also 20 health gain on kill per stack of bleeding on the target. I also quickly want to mention that the weapon base here that I want to aim for is going to be the Dragon Bone Axe, with its implicit chance to bleed on hit that will also apply to the hammers, as it's not having a specific tag on it. The damage on the weapon is not important, as it's not going to affect the throwing, hit or the bleed of the skill. For the stats for this build, try to go for health, resist for the cap, increased attack speed, and this needs to be either throwing or just attack speed without a tag on it. You have chance to bleed on hit, increased damage over time, increased physical damage, and also getting -2 throwing mana cost on your rings help out a lot for the build as well, as you don't have to worry about your mana. For the class specific stats, try to go for chance to bleed on hit if wielding a axe, and also physical penetration with bleed. For the idols, you want to get 4 large idols with increased bleed duration and also increased physical damage over time. You also want to get 2 grand idols with increased damage over time and also increased physical damage. Some of the more noticeable blessings is going to be from the timeline Reign of Dragon, and here you have some different options depending on what you need. First we have chance to bleed on hit for even more damage, up to 100%. We can choose to get up to 20% to all resistance if you're not capped, or you can even go for critical strike points here to get yourself easily capped. The Age of Winter will provide up to 50% chance to shred physical resist on hit. The Timeline Spirit of Fire, here you can get up to 60% chance to apply frailty on hit for some greater defense. And let's go over quickly the most important notes for the skills, starting with Hammer Throw. So Hammer Throw will be the ability that we are using to apply our bleeds to the enemies. Iron Spiral will make it so the hammers now will spiral around us. Hammer Vortex will now make it so the hammers now also follow us while we are moving. We're using Catapult here for some extra projectile for the skill. We're using Ballista here for the reduced mana cost for Hammer Throw. Rapid Throw for some increased attack speed for the skill. And also weighted hammers for the negative projectile speed, and this will just make it so the hammers will stay in the orbit around us for a longer duration. Next is going to be Sigils of Hope, and this is going to boost both our damage and our defense. Empower Sigil here for some increased damage per active sigil. Last Wish for the quality of life, get a chance to summon Sigil here on kill. Enduring Hope for a longer duration for the sigil. Tetragram for a maximum amount of the sigils. Fate makes it so if you take a hit in more than 25% of our health, a sigil will be consumed and also heal us for 200 health. We also have some point in Renewed Hope, makes it so we have a chance to resummon a sigil when it's consumed. Holy Aura is a great skill here, and same as before, boosting both damage and also defense. Call to Arms for some increased physical damage. Expedite for the increased throwing attack speed, and also so we have a chance to gain haste. We also use Fanatic here for the increase to attack speed. Purification here for the poison resistance, and also when we are active the Holy Aura, we will also cleanse ailments on us. Shelter from Storm for some increase to element resistance and also to endurance. Volatile Reversal makes it so we also boost our damage even further, but we can also use this to recover some of our mana. Time Lost Vitality for the increase to cooldown recovery. We're using Incipient Void Rift and also Terminal Void Rift, so we will create a Void Rift at the start and also at where we are arriving. Time Rift, so enemies will take increased damage for damage over time. Warp Time for increase to global attack speed. And Harbinger of Dust makes it so enemy will take 30% increased damage if hit by the Void Rifts. And lastly, we're using Shield Rush as our mobility skill. We're using Rush Mastery, so the Shield Rush costs less mana. Protective Speed, so we take less damage when we are rushing. And Unstoppable Charge, just to get some increased stun chance when we use Shield Rush. And here a quick preview of the passive skill tree. But for more information about the build, I do recommend to go and check out the last Epoch build planner. Both for the passive and the skill tree, you can simply use the progression bar at the bottom of the screen here to easily see when and where to progress in the build, both for the passives and for the skills. And to the left of the build planner, you can also get a basic load filter of the build that will highlight all you need to get for both leveling and for the endgame. Link for this will be in the description. So what do you think about the Bleed Hammered in Paladin? Have you tried it out before or tried another version of it? Feel free to tell me in the comments below. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. And with that said, I'll see you in the next one. Bye!